Hey Clashers, we have for quite some days now a golden new button right above that base editor, and if we tap this we get into the tournament hub right there. This tournament hub is for the World Championship, and this kind of explains as well why, well, only Town of 15 players can see this. At the same time, I'm not the biggest fan because even as like a non-Town of 15 player, you could follow the first stage already. The first stage was played out and we have already a ranking for that. Overall, multiple thousand teams signed up for this first stage for this tournament, since it's a $1 million tournament, and we can see all of the results. In addition to that, there is a Discord server who's tracking all of those different matches, and for us it's the perfect situation to just double check the stats to see hit rates. And I would love to talk in this video about a possible esports mode as well. And, well, maybe a couple of things where I would disagree or I have a different opinion with what Supercell does when it comes down to esports. But let's now start things off with the Competitive Clash Network, which is the Discord server tracking all of those matches. And you can tell, like, with how many teams there are ranked, there's just so many teams signing up. And with all of those matches tracked, like every single match, if you scroll down here at the bottom side, you can see a ton of results already as well. But with every single match tracked, which they were able to do, well, this means it's a success rate from all of those different players, and this is only Town of 15, from 21.5%. What does this mean? That's the first question. It means that 21.5 of 100 attacks were 3 stars. 21.5 3 stars on 100 attacks. That's kind of how that works. Then we had the 2-star rates, like how many 2 stars within 100 attacks, and this is 67. Out of 100 attacks, we had 67 2 stars, so it's a 67% 2-star rate. 1 star was around 10%, which means 10 attacks of 100 attacks were overall 1 stars, and then the 0 stars we had a 1.5% roundabout. So this means only 1 attack of 100 attacks were 0 stars. Well, with having now all of the stats, we can compare them again to the top 100 teams, to the top 10 teams, and the difference is kind of crazy. The top 10 teams have a success rate of 63.5. This is 3 times more than what the average clan has. This is insane. 3 times better than what the average is. This is crazy. And this is showcasing something perfectly right now in the game. You cannot have one balance. You cannot balance the game for both parties. And out of those clans participating in this one, I would already say that they are way above average in Clash of Clans. Now think about, what about something like some players who are not that good? Like, they will have even less higher hit rates. And if we take the extremes, we have on one side the top 10 teams, but then take on the other side some other players who are maybe kind of the opposite of the top 10 best teams. They are maybe 3-starring once per month. That's not really fun. That's not really fun at all. So they want to have more 3 stars, and we're not talking about a small group at all, actually. And this means, well, right now the game is still way too difficult. But at the same time, you see the crazy hit rates of those top teams. So what is the solution? I feel like the only solution which I at this point see, and I hope that you have some great ideas as well, is an esports mode. So if you have ever watched an esports match, you should know that those matches are happening in friendly matches. So you kind of send a request to a different team, and then you can have it set up between those 2 clans, and a match is happening. That's kind of how it works. Since a lot of casuals do not use this even, or maybe don't even know that this mode exists, well, you could do modifiers to this game mode. So for example, instead of being able, okay, I want to send you a request for a 5v5 or whatever size clan war, I want to have this particular preparation time, this specific time of battle day. Instead of only having those options, in addition, you should have the option of, hey, my defenses deal 10% more damage, have maybe, I don't know, like 10% more hit points or whatever. So you can change some stats of offense and defense, like defenses, maybe offensive troops, heroes, normal troops, 10% more hit points, 10% less hit points. You could change that and modify that. I think this would be two cool things. First off, for the esports mode, they have their own dedicated meta where they can be then happy with, while at the same time the majority of players in the game can still have fun in the game with having some more 3 stars, because then you can just make the balance for them way easier, because right now it's still really way too hard, especially with the Rage Tower being completely busted. I mean, it's like, if this is OP, this broke, this is like where the Rage Tower is. It's like completely broken whatsoever, and a lot of other things are way too strong still as well. But then again, for the pros, that's not really the case. They kind of need that defensive power for them to have fun in the game. So this is why I only see this esports mode being the possibility, or being an option right now, which is maybe possible. And this will be then obviously time which Supercell has to put into that, developing that. I have no clue how hard it is, but I feel like this might be a nice solution to kind of have both communities being happy in the end. But right now there feels like there's one problem. And this problem, unfortunately, is kind of how Supercell envisions their esports, which I am not really the biggest fan of. Like, I'm giving Supercell the feedback already since the beginning. I mean, I'm around now for quite some time, but I always have said I would prefer having like an esports league instead of this open system right now. It's kind of nice that everyone can participate, but it feels like in the end it doesn't really matter. In the end we have the same teams at the top every single year. So why do you open it to everyone if you have the same results anyways? Because the viewers, and I guess I can speak for you guys want to see the same clans, right? You want to see your favorite players. You want to see Klaus, Stars, you want to see Clash Champs, Tribe Gaming, and so on. You want to see those top teams, and while it's kind of nice that some players have the chance of diving into this one with having an open qualifier and anyone can sign up, I'm not sure if that's the right approach for esports in general, and I feel like this is kind of something which is a key problem. Because, well, with kind of trying to involve everyone, this as well reflects on the esports mode, because then the idea is, hey, those players, you're playing a different game, so viewers cannot really copy your attacks anymore. But let's be honest, okay? Who of you are actually watching an esports match, watch them doing an insane Queen Charge Lalo and say, I will copy this and 3-star any base, it's easy. Well, then you will try it and wake up from your dream, but this is not how it works. I mean, those players are doing crazy stuff. You won't be able to use that and copy just that. You need to be town of 15 as well. Like, this is not how it works. So I feel like this is a key problem in how kind of Supercell envisions this, in my opinion. And I feel like this is why I hope the esports mode is coming, because, I mean, viewers, they won't copy things anyway. And if they do, it's more like the idea, okay, they're using a flame flinger. I would try that as well. They're protecting their flame flinger. I would try that as well. But for that, it doesn't really matter if the flame flinger is 3-shotting defenses or 2-shotting defense or taking 10 shots for a defense. It doesn't matter. This is not relevant if you want to copy the idea. So I feel like this is really a huge flaw in the overall system, in my opinion at least. But I feel like that this has to be fixed first before Supercell even is trying to go this esports mode route. At least that's what it feels like. I hope I'm wrong on this one, but still, this is right now kind of what I'm hoping for the future, with having a somewhat easy game for the majority, for the 99.9% player base, and then you have this esports modifier, clan mode, whatever you want to call it, for the competitive play and for the small community, for the competitive scene. Because I mean, we all agree, it's really fun to watch them play, and if they have a challenge and if they want that challenge, feel free to do so. Like, why would I mean, it's totally fine if they want to have that, right? Another thing I would love to see for the future is having more troops which are, I don't know, like the last couple of troops with the Electro Titan and the Furnace Warden, they're not that complex, not really that hard to use. I would love to see more troops like the Balloon, like the Hog Rider, like the Super Barbarian. I'm not talking about like strength level, but I'm talking about overall the idea. A follow-up troop after you have opener like Queen Charge, you have a blimp, any type of blimp, or you have, for example, I don't know, different types of different openings with a Skelly Donor, whatever. But I feel like there needs to be more follow-up. We have a lot of different strategies which are working in the beginning. As I said, Queen Charges, different type of blimps, for example, Warden Walk, Skelly Donut, Lightning Spell. There's so many different options, but for the follow-up, a lot of times it's just By now, it's Super Barons, Hog Riders, and for example, Lado. And I feel like I would love to see that change. I would see more of the follow-up troop options. That would be great to see for the future. And I think it would be great for esports as well, having more options overall there as well, and having some more troops which can be used for casuals, but as well for competitive play as well. With that, we'll get back to one topic I want to quickly mention as well in this video, which are Super Archer Blimps and Super Barbarians again. Because I feel like a lot of people have misunderstood my latest video where I talked about the Super Archer Blimp, because I am the opinion that I feel like Super Archer Blimp is completely fine with one thing. And this is fixing the Clan Castle bug. What is the Clan Castle bug, if you might wonder? Well, right now, there's a bug in the game which is giving the troops more time to leave the Clan Castle. So with the summer update, Supercell has introduced a change that the troops out of a Clan Castle, or like out of a siege machine, the releasing the troops is happening faster. For example, to nerf blimps. Because with that, troops are leaving the blimp faster, and this gives less time to trigger traps. For example, with the Super Wizard blimp, you had like 10 goblins before your Super Wizards came out, and they could trigger any traps, and your Super Wizards are staying safe. With now release time being quicker, well, the Super Wizard now take damage as well if there are traps. But there's a bug right now when you only use 9 troops in your blimp. It's the same thing as before the update. So like there's literally no change. This bug has to be fixed, and hopefully it's going to be in the future. But otherwise, leave that blimp alone. I feel like otherwise a lot of people will struggle on Town of 15 even more if you nerf that. And I've talked about the Super Barbarians already as well, as there are no casual troop whatsoever. I don't really mind them being nerfed, to be honest. Like, I don't really care. I just think overall, don't over nerf them, because I think it's cool that we have now 3 follow-up troops after an opening. I've just talked about it, that we don't have that many follow-up options in the current game. We have Lado, we have Hogs, and now we have Super Barbarians. So if you nerf them into the ground, that would be kind of sad in my opinion. But that's just what I think. Them being nerfed, I don't really care about that, because as I said, I try to speak right now for the more casual players, because I feel like a lot of the top players have enough reach to make their opinion heard and make their voice being heard, but I feel like a lot of casuals do not. And this is why I do those type of videos, to kind of give both sides the option of sharing my point of view, and as well trying to, like, I don't know, push forward the health of the game, because I feel like that's in the end the most important thing. But as I said, with like loving the esports scene and everything, this esports mode would be huge, and it would be able to keep both communities happy overall, which would be the optimal thing. But now, that's a lot of ideas, I would say, which I shared in this video, and I would love to see what you guys think about it. I would love to read what you think about it, and I would love to discuss with you in the comments. So let me know what you think about my ideas I had and shared in this video. Let me know if you think there are some issues with those ideas, or if you would agree with me overall as well. Otherwise, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to join the Competitive Clash Network on Discord to see and find your own stats. The link is down below. And otherwise, I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.